often, if you are not using an image that you're generating, you would have the option to use a pre-existing image, and in this case, I've chosen a map of North America, and so I have a small JPEG of that image, and what I want to do is to put it into Illustrator so I can vectorize the image and change the scale of it, because at this point, this image is a 72 DPI, and if I made it bigger than the small size that it is, it would lose a lot of its articulation. So what I want to do is to put it into Illustrator, and then once I have it as a vectorized file, put it back into Photoshop and color separate the different layers so that I could, in a sense, replicate it as a silkscreen. So in this situation, what I'm going to do is to drag my map into Adobe Illustrator. And here's my image. And what I'm going to do is to go ahead and use the Select tool and select my image so you can see that it's selected, and go to Object, Live Trace, Tracing Options. Now in this situation, I want to go ahead and to keep my image as a color image, and you can see that you can either, through choosing color here, have an option to how many colors you might choose, and I can go up and down to 400 if I want, or I can keep it at 10. It just, what will happen is that it will specifically look for those colors and see them when it makes it into a vectorized image. Or the other thing that you can do is just to go to color 6, which would then separate it into 6 different color groupings. The one thing that in doing this is that often the computer is seeing closely related colors as one color. So you may end up having a medium gray and a dark gray kind of grouped together, even though in the way that you're seeing it, they are 2 distinct colors. As a lot of the colors in this map are pretty closely related, I'm going to go with the option of kind of adding a couple layers to it so I can have hopefully a bit more breadth to the colors that I have. And so I've chosen 10 different colors, and I'm going to preview it because I always want to see what it's going to look like ahead of time to make sure I like it or not. And you'll see it's going to have a much more of a graphic feeling to it, where before it was more defined with text and different symbolic icons. Now it has a much more graphic flair to it, and it's lost a little bit of its coloration, but at a certain level there's really not much I can do about it. So I'm going to go ahead and trace my image, and I'm going to then go ahead and save this image to my desktop as an Illustrator file. So here it is as an Illustrator file. It's saving to my desktop. I'll take a couple moments to save it, and once it's saved, you can see it says Illustrator on the top. So I'm just going to go ahead and close it. And let's see, we're looking for my image, which I'm assuming is Map of North America right here. And what I'm going to do now is to take this file and to put it into Photoshop. Here's my image right here, and you can see it's 300 DPI resolution. Here's the size of my image. It's certainly bigger than it was before. And I'm going to push OK. And what I want to do with this now, and you'll notice that layer, this is the new layer that I have, is first thing I want to do is to go ahead and to create a new layer. And so this is the layer icon here, and I can just click on it. You can see I have layer 2, which is selected. If you don't want to use the layer icon, the other thing you can do is just go to layer, new, and then layer, and create a layer that way also. Going back to my original layer, because what I want to do is select different colors from it, I've gone ahead and chosen the magic wand, and I'm going to select the white areas of my print that you can see right here. At this point, I'm going to go to Edit, and I'm going to Cut, and then I'm going to go to my new layer, highlight that, and go to Edit and Paste. And all of a sudden now, if I shut this layer off, you can see how I've moved that one color to this new layer. I'm highlighting my bottom layer again. I'm going to create a new layer, which would be layer 3. What you also may want to do is rename your layers as you go, so that you can, at this point, layer 2, I might not remember what layer 2 is, so if you double click on where it says layer 2, you can just type in what color it is, because it might make it easier for you to remember. So I typed in white. I'm going back to my original layer. Using my selection tool, then I'm going to go ahead and to look for my next color, which, let's choose this gray here. So I'm going to select that gray, and now anything that's going to be that gray color is hopefully showing up. And it may include other colors, and this is where thing isn't really fail-safe. So what I'm going to do again is go to Edit and Cut, and then I'm going to highlight this and go to Edit and Paste. And now, if I shut this layer off, you can see how I have these first two layers of my image together. And it's always easier if you kind of do this one layer at a time, so you're not looking at the other things necessarily, so you're not sure what if you have all the layers on, you're seeing your complete image. And in my situation, I don't want to, because I want to see what I can extract. And again, then I'm going to change the title of it, so I can say gray. And I'm going to go back to my original layer, add a new layer for my next one, and choose another color. So let's say I want to choose the dark brown. And again, you know, if you want to make it really big, it'll make it a little easier for you to find your colors, so, and to tap onto your colors. So I'm going to highlight that, and we can zoom out so you can sort of see what parts I'm highlighting. And then I'm going to go to Edit. Sorry, that's where I keep touching it. Cut, highlight my new layer, Edit, Paste. And if I shut down, and I'll retitle it. I can shut it off, so I can sort of see what's left on layer one, and kind of proceed to do my whole print this way, so that all of a sudden I've separated all the different colors into these different layers. Once I've separated all my different images, then what I want to do is to see what they look like all together, which they should resemble the initial map that I had. So I'm going to go ahead and to highlight all my images, and you can see that this very much looks like my initial image. At this point, what I could do then is to go back into my individual images, and because if I want to make a photo silkscreen of it, I've separated it, but again, then what I'm going to have to do is to go back and to create all of these different layers in black. So I would make the whole thing in black and be able to then make a photo silkscreen of it, having them then the different colors meet the corresponding colors of what you just saw on the map. So pretty much this is a way for you to go ahead and use a pre-existing image and to color separate it and to create a silkscreen of an older map, but into your own work.